are the future of Nigeria. The future of Nigeria. They must do something tangible on that. Then at the same time, they feel that they are in a comfortable zone. If any Nigerian feels that it's not comfortable, that such a person is doing himself. The question is, where is this country, Nigeria? One thing I want us to understand is that local government must be empowered because they know the nooks and crannies of their state or their local environment. The locals are in the best position, at least, to secure the people. So the chairman should be given power in Nigeria. I know they should work careful. The local government. Somebody has spoken. God help us in Jesus' name. Thank you very much. God will get me from my brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
We appreciate you. 0805 500 9850.
Hello,
good morning.
Hello, good morning. My name is Kele Balabi from Laka Shebolo. I just want to comment about the 207 state people that were abducted in Kaduna. It shows there's no synergy among our security agents. The Navy, the Air Force, the NLDC. How can the 207 people be having a day like that? They should combine efforts because all this kidnapping is too much. Secondly, I want to comment on the issue of the Minister of Finance. That the man should be proactive. All this is policy. It's not working well. It's not friendly. Have a nice working day.
Thank you. You too. Have a nice working day. 0805 500 9850. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. John from Ifeoda in Osun State.
Okay, good to have you, sir.
Just because I love your radio station and you that are anchoring this program, that is why I'm not tired of hearing news. Every morning, the news that we hear is tragic. Do we have government in Nigeria? Even as I'm managing the house of now, if there's any problem with one of my children or wife, I know what to do. After hearing this news, National Assembly, State Assembly, even local government, nobody will say anything. Is it confident? Do they think Nigeria is running the way it should be run? My advice for the president that he should go and retire. If it is the US or other countries that are well civilized, this is enough for the president to set back and call and tell people that I am tired. So that's my own point. We will say we should not speak any incitement something on the station. How can you keep that to your mind?
All right. Thank you.
Then you are hearing that 280 puppies at a go.
We appreciate you. You've made your
God
point.
bless Nigeria.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
On handling abduction and kidnapping in Nigeria, it's unfortunate. We must find solution. We have to go.
Right, we have to go, and we'll be back same time tomorrow morning, God willing. My name is Tola Teriba.
And I remain yours faithfully, Sheon Oyelo. Thanks for always enjoying conversations. Tit Bit is next, and Boluaji Ogumola is our guide today. Boluaji, I thought you would be in Saudi Arabia already. Now with your boxing kits.
Well, I'm still expecting the check you promised. Once we get it, we'll go to Saudi Arabia.
Don't worry, it's the economic situation of the country. Don't worry, just give us the report.
Of course, in case you don't know, what Shane is talking about is the big one between Anthony, two-time world heavyweight champion, and former Olympic gold medalist Anthony Joshua, taking on Francis Ngannou, who will be making his second, taking his second fight in professional boxing. Well, a lot is at stake. Don't forget that Ngannou, in his first attempt, lost to the world heavyweight champion himself, Tyson Fury, last time, and this time around he's taking on Anthony Joshua. They've been talking very tough, but in this kind of fight, it's all about the money, especially when the Saudis are talking. Right now, nothing has even happened at this point, but then They have promised already $70 million between them. Ngannou, 20 million, Joshua, 50 million, and that's before pay-per-view. Pay-per-view money will still come in, so you know what is at stake in this particular fight. Of course, we're wishing them all the best. There's nothing really at stake here except for the pride and the integrity of boxing. Yeah, if you understand what I'm saying. But of course, it's a day for them to cash out. So all the best to the two of them.
All right, Sport Tit Bit next with OLUYOLEFM Ogunmola.
It's a beautiful Friday morning right here in the city of Ibadan. Time check 7:34 a.m. and it's sport time right here on OLUYOLEFM 98.5 FM, the Trailblazer, the pride of the nation, and of course, you know, the best in the West. My name is OLUYOLEFM Ogunmola, and of course, so excited to be here this morning to bring you all the news that you can use in the beautiful and ever exciting world of sport. Bring you the latest, the hottest, and the juiciest sport news. Make it around this lovely Friday morning. On the show this morning, we'll start from the Nigerian Premier Football League. Take updates from various camps, from the camp of Remo Stars to the camp of Niger Tornadoes. We also track Nigerian footballers this morning before we head to Ghana and take updates from the Africa Games. Nigeria did not win any medal yesterday, but today Nigeria will be taking on Egypt in two different events. Yes, in the male team event of table tennis and in the female event of table tennis, Team Nigeria will face Team Egypt in the finals of the two events. I wish Team Nigeria all the best at table tennis. Hopefully, we will win our first to gold today against Egypt in the table tennis event. And yesterday, it wasn't a good start for our Flying Eagles at the Africa Games. Yes, they lost to Uganda 2-1. That game ended. Not a good way to start for Landon Bosso and his boys. Well, also on the show, we'll be listening to one of our footballers. In fact, let me say the MVP, most valuable player at the last Africa Cup of Nations. His name is William Troost Ekong, sharing his experience playing for Nigeria at this last concluded AFCON. How he struggled to make the team, yes, and eventually made the team and emerged the best player of the tournament. Well, also, we're still talking about
CG the Hitmaker.
Jose Peseiro. He was our coach too at the last AFCON. His contract has expired. He has left the national team. And Nigeria football agent Chief Segun Odegbami was speaking this morning on his thoughts on Jose Peseiro. And as we speak, the position is vacant. That our head coach position is vacant and has been thrown open. It has been thrown open by the NFF. So if you have the right credentials, just send in your application to the NFF this morning before it's too late. And don't forget the big one between Anthony Oluwafemi Olaseni Joshua and Francis Ngannou will go down later today in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. It is a heavyweight boxing bout between the two. And of course, I'll let you into all you need to know as far as that fight is concerned. And also listen to the two fighters. Yes, let's kickstart from the local scene this morning from the MPFL, where Remo Stars technical advisor, his name is Daniel Ogumodede, says that his team cannot afford to lose their next MPFL encounter. Remo Stars will do battle with the next opponent. Yes, against Sporting Lagos later on this coming weekend on Sunday at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena. It's a match day 24 encounter. Ogumilede is sounding very positive about the chances of his team. Says in a quote, "We know how important every game is for us. If we lose to Sporting Lagos, we might drop down the table, which we don't want to happen. We want to remain at the top of the table and of course continue to fight even as we aim for the NPFL title this season." Yes, that's the word of Daniel Ogumilede this morning. He is the head coach of Nigerian Premier Football League side, that's Remo Stars. Let me inform you this morning, Remo Stars are currently occupied the 5th position on the log with 36 points, and should they lose this coming on Sunday, they might just drop to the 8th position. That's how competitive the Nigerian Premier Football is at the moment. Well, from there, the NPFL board has debunked reports of any sanctions against Niger Tornadoes after the game with Rangers International. Recall that a viral message indicating that Niger Tornadoes have been charged for a breach of the NPFL framework made the rounds during the week. However, in a swift response or via their official Twitter or X handle, NPFL denied that such purported sanctions didn't emanate from them. That's the news. That's the update from the NPFL this morning. Well, from there, let's cross over to the camp of Aima, where their striker Chijioke Mboma has set his sight on getting the league title and the Golden Boot Award this season. Despite having a slow start to the NPFL season, Aima seem to have regained momentum and they are back in contention for the league. Speaking earlier in the week, Mbama said that he has the intention of winning the double this very season. Well, according to him, I will be very excited to get a double, win the league, and also win the highest goal scorer award. It will be even more, because that will be the 10th as well as the back-to-back titles for me and the club. From the onset, I always wanted to win the award. I will get to the top of the chart. I have 11 goals now, and I'm looking forward to scoring more. And honestly, I wasn't looking at the NPFL record at the start of the season, but you never can tell how things might turn out, especially with the competition we have. And of course, Mbama is currently tied on 11 goals with Sikiru Alimi of Remo Stars Football Club. And Aimba themselves, they are pretty much impressive on the log as we speak. Yes, and of course, wish them all the best in their next encounter. Well, from there, let me inform that Victor Boniface, who has been sidelined with an injury since January, of course, we understand that he will be back in action later on this month on the 30th of March. Don't forget, he got injured while preparing for the African Cup of Nations with the Super Eagles. Of course, he missed the AFCON, no doubt, and he's been out of action for his club side, and has been confirmed by his coach that the young man will be back on the 30th of March and he should be fit to face Hoffenheim. That's the news coming from Victor Boniface of Bayer Leverkusen. Don't forget, Bayer Leverkusen, they are doing pretty well on the log of the NPFL as of the Bundesliga as we speak. Yes, they top that Bundesliga as we speak with 10 points. 10 points clear of Bayern Munich, and they are yet to lose in the league this very season. Well, from there, let's touch on Super Eagles, where Nigeria's men football vice captain, William Ekong, has revealed that his discord between him and former coach Jose Peseiro nearly cost him a place in the Nigeria squad to the African Cup of Nations. Ekong was benched, remember, in Nigeria's last AFCON qualifying fixture against Sao Tome and Principe in September, and was omitted from the squad for the World Cup qualifiers against Lesotho and Zimbabwe the following month. The defender was also not included in the squad for the international friendlies against Saudi Arabia and Mozambique, but made the squad for the AFCON eventually. Ekong surprisingly ended up playing a crucial role for the Super Eagles in Cote d'Ivoire, scoring 3 goals and winning the player of the tournament. Here is William Ekong explaining how he almost missed out on making it to the AFCON, and eventually some players who played a major role in him deciding to join the team for the AFCON, and how he eventually became the best player of the tournament. Let's listen to Super Eagles vice captain. He is William Trust Ekong.
Time, for example, Alex. I spoke to some of the players that I've been with for a longer time, for example, Alex Iwobi, Leon Balogun, and they all said, they thought it'd be a real shame, and they felt like I had a lot more to give, which made me think about my younger self and how much it meant and how proud I was to play my first game under Stephen Keshi in 2015, and I deserved to give my younger self a better ending. So that was the thing that changed my mind, really.
And it's fair to say it turned out pretty well. You know, what does it mean to you, given that, to have won Player of the Tournament?
I think my career has always been a testament of not giving up and keep trying. So this was maybe also something for myself to prove to myself that I could still do it. I think when you play in the final, then you would still like to swap it for winning the trophy. But this is probably as good as it gets if you don't win it.
Yeah, and how many of the plaudits and how much of the praise have you read?
I think my mum is probably the one who reads most of it. So she always sends some stuff over. I don't always get a chance to read it, and sometimes I had to tell my mum as well that I didn't want to read it because it became a bit much. So I had to actually take myself away from my phone. She went through a lot as well when I was a young player. Sometimes also against the will of my dad to let me play football, to make her proud and to see how much this meant to her, and also kind of validate the belief that she had in me, I think was something very special.
You mentioned your friendship with Alex Iwobi, and he's talked about the abuse he's received on social media since the final. What have you made of what has headed in his direction?
I think it's been very unfair. I think it's something that has kind of become part of the Nigerian football fan culture. I think different players have been there at different stages. I've been there, not to his extent, some years ago as well. I think Alex is a big personality. It's something that we love on him. He's also someone that carries the team in his own way. I think sometimes people forget that he's...
Admission. This is to inform the general public, especially parents and guidance, that entrance and transfer examination into JSS1 of the Ayo International College will come up on Saturday, 16th March 2024 at 10 a.m. Venue is the College Hall, Alakia Junction, Odife Road, Ibadan. Online registration examination is available. For more information, visit www.theayocollege2001@gmail.com. Telephone number 0802-8316-569, 0803-0469-782, or 0902-4411-377. The Ayo, we nurture lives for God to perfect.
Who the cap fits, let him wear it. GSM, the BCOS is very proud of you. Atin sọti pẹ́ àníyé máa sọ wípé GSM táwa ń tẹ̀lé yìí olóríire ni gómìnà Ṣèyí Mákindé ó tún ti ṣoríire lórí oríire o. Ó gbàdé gómìnà tó yanrantí jùlọ ní gbogbo Nàìjíríà lọ́dún 2023. Leadership newspapers ló gbàdé fún GSM. Oh yeah, it's another feather to the cap of His Excellency Engineer Ṣèyí Mákindé, FNSC, DSC, GSSRS, Governor of the Year 2023. Courtesy, Leadership Newspapers of Nigeria. Your Excellency, you are an inspiration. The BCOS celebrates you. Wípé ìwé ìròyìn leadership mọrírì takuntakun tẹ́ ti ń ṣe bọ̀. Gómìnà wa ilé akéde báyìí yọ. Àṣetomi tuntun 1.0 lárí. Omi tuntun 2.0 yóò tún kà sí àrà. Ipa yẹn wà ní pin lágbára dẹ́dà. Announcer Chief Mrs. Adedotun Olaitan, the Executive Chairman, on behalf of the management and staff of the BCOS.
Welcome back to Spotted Beat on Oluyole 98.5 FM. Don't forget, we're also on Agility FM 90.1, on Kilgore FM 96.3. And don't forget, we're always streaming on Facebook. Do join us there and share your thoughts with us on Facebook. Alright, so still talking Nigerian football this morning. Before we went on a break, you listen to the vice captain of the Super Eagles. Yes, he is William Trust Ekong, talking about his time out during the African Cup of Nations, how he almost missed out on the competition and how he eventually became the best player at the tournament. On Nigerian football legend, Chief Segun Odegbami has been talking about Sepesero's time with the Super Eagles of Nigeria and why it's important for the NFF to look inward and give a chance to an indigenous coach to take over. Yesterday, of course, the NFF threw the position open for anyone who is interested to apply. Of course, Segun Odegbami is speaking this morning. Let's listen to him.
Everything put together. For 22 months, he did his best for Nigeria, but his best was obviously not good enough when the team was preparing to go for AFCON. But through the 3 or 4 weeks of AFCON, relief, because the team came up, started to do fairly well, and got to the finals. So for that reason, I believe that's why he was so handsomely rewarded. Rewarded in such a way that he created history. I don't think any other coach in the history of football has ever been that lavishly rewarded, not for coming first, but for coming second. And he insisted that that's his mandate, that he was going to get to the semi-finals of AFCON. For some of us, that was not good enough. Our dream for Nigeria, particularly Nigerian football, is that we should be amongst the best in the world. So where you have somebody whose ambition is to get to the semi-finals of an African Cup, definitely he does not get to that mark. And as far as we are concerned, he has done well, he has served the country, delivered on his own personal mandate, has been handsomely rewarded. He should just go, take his largesse back to his country and enjoy himself. Because for where we are heading now, he surely cannot deliver from what we saw in AFCON. We are not discussing any exact science here. We are discussing a form of art. And we have the history of Nigerians in virtually every field that are doing exceedingly well around the world. Nigerians are some of the smartest people in the world, some of the most educated, some of the most qualified, and they have raised the bar of performance in the world in terms of what they are contributing. So why should it be different in football, which is just a game? And by the way, when you look at somebody like Pasero, and you look at his antecedents, you look at his resume, you would find that he comes very, not even close to some Nigerians that have gone, that have solid credentials as players, have gone to qualify to the highest level in Europe, which is the foremost qualification you need to coach anywhere in the world. And in coaching, these are intelligent people that we should give a chance. So if we are doing that for other spheres of our lives, trying to eliminate this enslavement, this mental enslavement, colonial mental enslavement, then it is time we gave a Nigerian the opportunity to go out there. We must sink or swim with a Nigerian.
We must sink or swim with a Nigeria in charge of the Super Eagles. That's Nigerian football legend, Chief Segun Odegbami, the mathematical advising the NFF and all football stakeholders this morning. And just like I said, the position is vacant. So anyone interested, anyone with the CV can freely apply for the position. All right, so moving on this morning, let's talk about the African Games currently going on in Ghana. Yesterday, the Flying Eagles are wearing in action, and they suffered a 2-1 loss in their opening group game against the Hippos of Uganda. At the games, of course, the Ugandans dominated the game from the blast of the whistle, and they opened the scoring in the 33rd minute of the game through Arafat Usama. While Sadiq Isiaka put Nigeria level in the 36th minute of the game from a corner, and all the efforts of both teams to take the lead before halftime proved abortive. All the Hippos pegged back the Nigerians from the start of the second half, and the goalkeeper of the Flying Eagles was the saving grace. In the 81st minute of the game, the outside shot of Ivan Inoribimbabazi caught the Nigerian shotstopper unaware, and Uganda took the lead again. Flying Eagles tried to come back into the game, but it was never meant to be, as the Uganda ran away with a 2-1 victory. And before that, we had a game between Senegal and South Sudan, and the former champion Senegal clinched a hard-fought 1-0 win over South Sudan in that Group B encounter. More games will be played today, and several other actions will also take place at the African Games later on today. Let me inform you also that just like it was, it has been happening. So it is this year, as two heavyweights in the continent that Nigeria and Egypt clash in the team event of the finals of the table tennis at the African Games today. The two seeds in the team event lived up to expectation from the group matches to the knockout rounds, pummeling most of their opponents on their way to the finals. In the men's event, Quadriano guided the Nigerian side to the final after spearheading a hard-fought 3-1 win over Tunisia in the semi-final round to set up another epic final against the Egyptians. On their own, the Egyptians, as the defending champions, were not threatened until the semi-final where they were tested. Where they were tested by Algeria, but it was International Conference Center. For the women's events, Nigeria had a smooth ride to the final with a convincing 3-love win over South Africa in the semi-final, while the Egyptian ladies, like their male counterparts, had a jolly passage to the final where they will face Ofyong Edem-led Nigerian side. In their last meeting in Rabat in Morocco in 2019, Egypt prevailed in the men's event to dethrone Nigeria, while the Egyptians have dominated the women's event in the last 3 editions of the championship. Hopefully all of that will change this time around, and Team Nigeria will carry the day in the table tennis team event. From there, let's talk Formula 1, where Fernando Alonso set the pace for Mercedes George Russell and Red Bull's Max Verstappen in Saudi Arabian Grand Prix practice. Alonso was 0.230 seconds ahead of Russell and 0.331 seconds quicker than the man who ran away with the first race of the season last weekend in Bahrain. That is Max Verstappen. Of course, looking like a very interesting and a very competitive Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, and trust us to bring you up to speed on this dial. Straight to boxing, where France Ngannou tipped the scales at almost a stone